What is the best way to start running Facebook ads as a residential contractor in 2025? That's what I'm going to cover off in this video is the 3 different ways that you can launch an ad and ultimately which one I think is best for you based on where you're at in your contracting business and what kind of goals you have for yourself. Now, if you don't know who I am, my name is John Cameron. I ran my own contracting business for 7 years, and then I started the Contractor Marketing Mastermind, which is a program that at this point has helped more than 100 contractors generate millions and millions and millions of dollars worth of sales. This Facebook stuff is really my bread and butter. So the first way that you can launch a Facebook ad is by doing a boosted post. Now, a boosted post, if you don't know, is something that pops up as an option every single time that you ever make a post on Facebook. You'll see something just in the bottom right that says this, boost post. And if you are making the post, chances are you also got prompted by Facebook to put in $10, put in $20, and they'll, serve your ad to 1,000, 2,000, 5,000, whatever people, right? Now, my problem with boosted posts isn't so much that they can't work. For years, I actually just boosted posts and we got incredible results. But my problem with it is that most people are lighting their money on fire boosting posts that have no right to be boosted. They just make a post saying, hey, check out this before and after. Look at the great work that we did. And then Facebook says, give us $30 and we'll show a few thousand people what you did. And they think that that's going to get them clients when it just isn't. See, in order to get great results with Facebook ads, you have to create the ad in the right way. And I actually just created a video about this last week. So if you want to check that out, you could click, I'll put it in the description down below for you to be able to watch. How do you create a Facebook ad that will actually attract your ideal clients? Okay. But most people aren't doing that. And that's my biggest problem with it. And for the little bit of extra complexity that goes along with the second way, which is using the Meta Business Suite, it's just worthwhile to do that. And I'll just show you quickly here why. Because as you take on a bit more complexity, it's not that hard. It's really, really not that hard. I can show you how to get this live in like 5 minutes, not even. So the reason why is because it starts to allow you to do more with your ads, to have more options, to select different objectives. And I'll show you here just kind of like what this will allow you to do. It doesn't really allow you to do pretty much anything. They'll give you some AI suggestions, which I wouldn't take. You could select your targeting, which if you don't know how to target the right people, it's mostly about the words that you use in your ad, not about the places you put your ads or the different audiences. It doesn't need to be that complicated. Facebook is reading what you put. Their AI is reading it. It is listening to your video if you did a video ad. So you don't have to really do that much targeting. You don't need to come into here and go, maybe home improvement and add this as some sort of an interest. You don't need to try to get super creative there. All that we typically will start off with, 32 and older, make sure we put it in the right location, right? So just let's say we're doing it in Guelph, right? And then I just select the radius. Maybe I don't want to go 25 miles. I only want to go 11, and this looks good, and that's it. That's all I would do. That's it. Okay. So this is boosting posts. The thing with boosting posts too is that what they're doing is, because of who this is designed for, they're basically just going to say, set an overall budget, set when you want it to end, and that's it. You can't even select to just let the ad run continuously. And to me, I always set up my ads to just run continuously because if it's working, I don't want it to stop. And I would just rather be checking in on it, making sure that things are going well, than to have just some artificial end date, right? If you imagine your cost per lead is $40, you send, or you spend $80, you might get 2 people that reach out. And this is also just going for like post engagements. It's not even trying to get you leads here. So that's my biggest problem with boosted posts. The second way that you can do it is through the Meta Business Suite. Now, if you don't know how to get there, it's really quite easy. You can just click this top right button. You can go to the Meta Business Suite and it'll bring you to this page here. So the second way you can do it is you can actually launch the ads from in here. So what you would do is you just click this little button that says ads. And I want you to see how simple this is and how many more options you get. The next batch will also give you even more ways to create ads and more controls. But this is the second way. And honestly, if you're just starting out and you want to just get started in the quickest way possible, this is probably what I would do. I would go watch that video after this one. Stick here for a sec, but I'd go watch that video I put in the description that shows you how to create the ad in terms of what to say in the ad. And then I would take that and I would follow the instructions in this video. Okay. So what you would do is you click on create ad, top right, and then you want to select your goal. Okay. So you can already see we're starting to get more options. We can get more messages, boost content. This is what the boosted posts are doing. It's just showing your content to more people. It's just crazy. You could promote your page, get more calls, promote your business locally, get more website visitors, or get more leads. Here's the thing. If you're a contractor, here's what you want. You want leads. Well, really you want jobs, which obviously, but like the first thing you got to get is leads. You got to have people reaching out to you. So that's why I don't like this whole boosted post thing, because the goal isn't to just get people to see us. The goal for Facebook should be to get leads, which turn into jobs. So that's what I select. You could do get more messages, and there's a bit of a workaround, but this is what I would do. Get more leads. So you click on that. And then if you were so inclined, you can also choose to use a post. I personally wouldn't. I'd be very intentional about what I'm doing here. I would take the script, I would take the words that I taught you in the other video, and you put those words right here. Okay? Boom. Then you can select the media, right? So let's just say it was a video, or let's just say it was, say, this photo here, right? Put that there, put those words. For a headline, you can just put like 5-star rated, or you could put 200 plus 5-star reviews on Google. Capitalize that, but whatever you want to do there, something like that is typically what I would recommend. So it shows up kind of like this. And then what you would need to select next would be the button label, which would be get quote. And then you need to create a form. Now for the form, make sure you name it something that like makes sense, like low friction form, right? And low friction just because we're not asking them a ton of questions. This is what I would start with, but that's just it. We just created the form, okay? Then what we do is we can keep this on. You are not a special ad category. We're going to do the same steps as we just did before with the audience, 30, and then select the proper spot. I'm going to just skip that for now. But that's just it, right? But you can also now run this ad continuously, which is what you should be doing. You should be running this ad just continuously. So if you're starting out and you want to get an ad launched in the easiest way possible, Facebook has made this so easy. And it's going to show it to Facebook. It's going to show it to Instagram. So just do that. Now, if you see Facebook as something that is going to really contribute to your business and you want to get the best results possible, you want to have the most information on how the ads are actually doing, what ones are getting you the best results, you want to be able to see, just as much data as possible, and to have even more control over where your ads are showing up and how you're converting these people who are seeing your ads into leads, then the way that you're going to want to do Facebook ads is actually through something called the Ads Manager. Now, the way that you can get there is inside of this Meta Business Suite on the left-hand side, you'll see Ads Manager. Click that. It'll bring you to something that looks like this. Now, this looks complicated. It does. But I promise you, it's really not that complicated, okay? And this is what I use to run my ads with our private clients inside of the Contractor Marketing Mastermind. This is what we're teaching them, because for the additional little bit of complexity, you get a lot more information. You can see a lot more about what's going on. Like, here's all of the different columns that you can just add in. So you can see the frequency, so how often your ads are being seen by the people that it's being seen by. You can do the views, cost per click, click-through rate. You can see how long somebody has actually watched your video. It just gives you so much more information. There's tons and tons of different things that you can put in here, but it's worth it. It's worth it. It's not that hard. Let me just show you this. So what you do is you click on create, okay? Click on create new campaign. And then again, you can select the different objectives. This is where it gets a little bit more, but Mostly you're just going to do leads. I actually don't recommend anything else for residential contractors. So I would do leads, continue. Then you're going to adjust your budget here, go to the ad set, and now you can see there's a lot more options that you have here for the different ways that you can get leads. You can do it through your website and instant forms, and it'll do both, right? Based on what they think is going to work the best. You do website and calls, instant form, messenger, instant form and messenger, Instagram, WhatsApp, calls, or just through like an app, which you probably don't have. I would just recommend though, just like sticking with instant forms, right? And then if you scroll down, similar way to set up the audience. So it's like, shouldn't be anything new here. You're going to change the location, right? So you can go here, boom. You can type in Guelph, show more controls. You can then select a minimum age. So you can do all of the same sorts of things there, right? So then you could go down here and you could actually select like the 32 plus, which is what I would recommend. Minimum age I would still set to as high as you can, but I would just give it a little bit more information. Hey, we think 32 to 65 plus is what you want to do. Then click over here, takes you to the ad, and then it's like basically the same thing. You could create a form. You could, go and if you scroll down, setting up the ad creative is pretty much the same. Let's just say it's a video ad. We could throw this in here, right? Skip and continue. But now it's also giving us more options, right? So I'm just gonna like back out of here now because pretty much it's the same sort of setup, but it just gives you a lot more control. If you really were so inclined, you can also select where you actually want it to show up. Like if you only want it to show up on Facebook, you could select just Facebook. I don't recommend doing that, but you could go and do that and you can see what's better for you, Facebook or Instagram. You can just see what is ultimately going to work the best for you. If you're new, I would use Meta Business Suite. If you're seeing that, hey, I want to have the best data possible so I can make the best decisions, I would go with the Ads Manager. And there's tons of resources, including future videos that I'm going to be putting out on how to set up ads using Ads Manager. It's far less complicated than you think. You can do it. But with that said, I'm going to leave you there, and I will see you in the next video.